On the Bronc Buzz, we'll investigate the noise on campus and how Ryder will be saving a bundle of cash.
The director of Ryder Career Services spoke to the students on the process of applying to internships on their updated website.
Major League Baseball is back for the 2014 season, and Ryder students give their take on who will be this season's winners and losers.
Our entertainment buzz brings us the inside scoop on what music has been released that is making the top of the charts.
Dirty Napkins is back with some healthy tips and tricks. All this and more ahead on The Buzz. Welcome to the Bronc Buzz. I'm Monica Switlick.
And I'm Nick Weiss. Over the last few years, Ryder has continued to improve its campus while pushing green initiatives. Vice President of Facilities and Auxiliaries has some more tricks up his sleeve.
Ryder is taking yet another step in greening up its campus. The construction of a tri-generation plant started just last spring. It produces more heat and electricity while slashing energy prices.
By virtue of what we're doing, we're saving significant electricity purchases, well over $500,000 a year in what we spend in energy costs for the university.
Not only has Ryder been able to save money, but the new generator will turn Ryder into a self-sustaining campus.
First of all, it's a huge energy saver and it's so much cleaner. We'll save probably 11,000 pounds a year in sulfur. When we buy from the utility, they burn multiple sources to create the electricity. What we're doing is we're just burning gas the most efficient way possible and reusing byproduct. So what we're doing is so much more efficient than the utility, and being our own little sub-utility.
Every resource used in a tri-generation will contribute towards Ryder's goal of becoming a green campus. This follows the prompt of the sustainability model to reduce, reuse, and recycle.
So what we're doing is we're firing the turbine with gas. It creates electricity, and then the byproduct that it burns off goes into the absorption chiller, makes hot and cold water that we circulate to the buildings for heating and cooling.
The location poses a problem. In a high-traffic area for students, the back of campus has become even more crowded.
Because the way the piping structure and the electrical structure, it has to feed the academic quad and eventually, hopefully, the library, this will branch out to. We had to keep it in a location that was reasonably close to keep the water pressure up. The more cable it has to run through, you do lose a little bit of the kilowatts just by virtue of the distance. Okay. So it was the most efficient place we could put it without having to go to the back of campus, because it would have been cost prohibitive for us to run all those connections, all the underground piping and all the underground cabling from the deeper part of the university.
Besides this project, Ryder has made several past efforts to push itself to becoming a more energy-efficient university. In the fall of 2011, a 3.2-acre solar field was built on campus, which served as a clean source of energy and reduced emissions of carbon dioxide. In an attempt to also reduce the purchasing of plastic bottles, students will find filtered water stations installed in the dorms and academic buildings throughout the campus. This current project has been moving on schedule, even though construction was held up during the summer.
There were some issues when we went out to bid for the project, where we had a defined budget that we were shooting for, and our first time out to bid, the bids came in above our budget. So what we had to do was rework the project a little bit and rebid it. We lost several months in that regard. We also got a $1 million grant from New Jersey Smart Start, and there was paperwork that had to be done by the contractor that we could not do until the contractor was on board. And so that delayed the project probably 6 or 7 months.
Although the construction took longer than expected, Ryder will be able to benefit even more in the long term. With the Bronc Buzz, I'm Fatima Hayward.
Be a part of Ryder's green scheme by joining the student-run Eco Reps. Talk to Melissa Greenberg to find out more.
Director of Career Services, Kevin Fallon, has updated the webpage for students to access more applications for interning in the future. He provided students with simple tips for more success in the future.
Kevin Fallon, Director of Career Services, spoke to students in the Yvonne Theater about how to apply for internships and the newest changes to Career Services website to make the process easier.
Here's the website. Just a couple things I want to point out. Down the left-hand side are the events and workshops that I was just telling you about. Right now, the workshops that we're running all focus on the career fair, since the career fair is tomorrow. It's in the Student Rec Center. It starts at 11 o'clock. We've got close to 100 employers coming, which for a spring career fair is pretty good. We usually see about 100 in the fall, and that's when we get more employers. The spring is usually smaller. It's usually like 50 to 60.
Not only did Kevin speak to students about upcoming events, but also the importance of cleaning up our image on social media.
By the way, Facebook, Facebook is where you can take a picture of the pancakes you had for breakfast or talk about your grandmother's chocolate chip cookies. LinkedIn is where you talk about your career and your career only. Never the two shall meet. There are colleges and universities that are hiring outside technology consulting firms to help their college students scrub their internet presence for anything unfortunate. The United States Library of Congress keeps a catalog, a fully searchable catalog of every single tweet that ever gets tweeted. So think before you tweet. Yes, all employers check you out online before they even decide to interview you. They will Google you. So you need to get in the habit of Googling yourself regularly. And when you Google yourself, go 5 or 6 pages deep on the Google results, because you'd be surprised. You never know what can pop up.
Also joining Kevin was a Rider alumni, Rob Schulte, who explains the importance of networking from other alumni from Rider.
All of those people that I'm mentioning, they're all under 40. They're young alumni that you can reach out to and that you can network with and that can support you in your own goals to find your career. The best thing you can do is use your alumni network, because there are literally hundreds of thousands of fraternity and sorority members across the country. They're willing to hire people that have similar experiences and similar values to them.
Rob also spoke about how he connected with an alumni after graduating that helped mentor him into becoming a teacher. If you are a Rider University student struggling with finding an internship, check out www.rider.edu/career-services.
To find out more about available internships, visit www.rider.edu/career-services.
Hey fans, baseball's back. See what Rider students have to say about the 2014 season in this edition of the Sports Buzz.
Major League Baseball is back for the 2014 season. After watching the Boston Red Sox take home the World Series title this past October, the Philadelphia Phillies, New York Mets, and New York Yankees are looking to turn last season's misfortunes into deep playoff runs. Every team has a special agenda, and fans at Rider University are looking forward to what lies ahead.
I am so excited for baseball season to begin again. It's my favorite sport, and my family and me always get together to watch it.
I love how baseball is also during spring and summer, because they're my two favorite seasons, so very excited.
In 2013, the Philadelphia Phillies did not have the season they wanted. With some key pieces missing, the organization filled a big pitching gap by signing free agent A.J. Burnett to a 1-year contract, on top of many additional moves that look to help the team rebuild for the future. With these moves, Phillies fans at Rider are still confident that their team will compete fairly in the NL East.
I think they're going to do good. I'm hoping that they're going to, go back to having a really good year and, rivaling the Mets and stuff. So I'm excited. I'm hoping that they're going to do good.
I'm, looking forward to it, but I'm a little hesitant to watch because we haven't had a few past good seasons. So I'm hoping we'll have a year like 2008. That'd be nice. I remember going to the parade that year, and I would love to do it again this year.
After missing the playoffs for the past 7 seasons, the New York Mets look to a new and improved roster to get the team back in the postseason. The team looks for its rookies, veterans, and newly acquired outfielder Curtis Granderson to get them out of their postseason drought. Mets fans across Rider are anxious to see how each player will contribute at Citi Field.
A lot of lousy years in a row so far, so I'm excited to see some of the Mets prospects, Noah Syndergaard, Rafael Montero, Zach Wheeler, all the pitching prospects come up and hopefully come of age, and maybe the Mets can make some noise in the NL East this year.
We did get Curtis Granderson, so he should be a really nice addition, and I would love to see the Mets begin to take some strides so we can get back to relevancy in the NL East.
Outside of newly acquired Jacoby Ellsbury, Carlos Beltran, Masahiro Tanaka, Brian McCann, and Brian Roberts, the 2014 season will be an emotional year for Yankees fans. Last season, they saw Mariano Rivera leave the game of baseball, and now this season, Yankee captain Derek Jeter will bid his farewell. Yankees fans want nothing short of a championship to close off Jeter's historic career in New York.
I have a lot of faith in them, and I'm hoping that it ends on a good note because I know it's Derek Jeter's last season, so I'm hoping he gets to leave the league with a good record.
I became a Yankee fan primarily because of Derek Jeter. So many great plays I can think of just off the top of my head, like the Oakland A's playoff game where he got the ball and just all the way from shortstop, it went to the first base side and just threw it to Jorge Posada and got the big out to make us keep on advancing in the playoffs.
We here at the Bronc Buzz are ready to play ball. Are you? This has been Dan Marley with the Sports Buzz.
Follow the 2014 season online at www.mlb.com.
Eminem and Rihanna teaming up, and Pharrell is topping the charts. Here is Lauren Testa with your music entertainment buzz.
Tickets went on sale last week for the Monster Mini Tour featuring Eminem and Rihanna. This dynamic duo first teamed up on the 2010 song Love the Way You Lie.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. But that's alright because I like the way it hurts.
Before reuniting for the Monster,
I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my
which the rapper released at the end of October as the fourth single from the Marshall Mathers LP2. Monster marks the fourth time Eminem and Rihanna have jumped on each other's tracks. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone, Eminem said that the new collaboration with Rihanna was not necessarily a sequel as much as it is a revisitation to his past. To me, it's more about the vice, and it's more about the nostalgia. As soon as he heard the beat of the hit song, he knew Rihanna would be the perfect fit, organically leading them to create the Monster Concert Tour. The tour kicks off in Los Angeles on Thursday, August 7th at the Rose Bowl, continuing to New York City's MetLife Stadium and Detroit's Comerica Park. Also this week, Pharrell Williams' newest album, Girl, is working its way up the charts. Despite nearly 8 years since his last released album, In My Mind, which came out in 2006, Pharrell is excited about the final product. What brought the singer back from an 8-year hiatus? Pharrell has credited Daft Punk for relaunching his solo career after their hit collaboration Get Lucky was so successful. My music is so much bigger than me. Working with Daft Punk has been a huge part of the journey to where I am today. I was very appreciative when I did it, and I'm still appreciative of the chance I was given, Pharrell said in an interview with The Guardian. Daft Punk makes an appearance on this new album, Girl, as well as other high-profile artists like Justin Timberlake, Miley Cyrus, and Alicia Keys. The album is themed to be geared about women and feminism, with songs including Marilyn Monroe, Come Get It Bae, Lost Queen, and It Girl. Pharrell wanted to highlight gender imbalance in our society. Pharrell's latest single is Everywhere, and we do mean everywhere. His new song, Happy, has got people dancing all over the world. So many lip-sync videos have already been created, more than 800 from 94 different countries, according to one count that a special website has been created just to collect them all. The album as a whole has received very high ratings. Rolling Stone gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and has reached number 2 on the Billboard 200 and top 5 in several countries. Happy tops the Billboard Hot 100 for a 5th week. To hear the album for yourself, check out Pharrell's YouTube channel, I Am Other, or buy it on iTunes. And that's all for Entertainment Buzz. Tune in next week.
Visit Billboard.com to stay updated on what songs you should be looking out for.
Our Food Buzz team is here with some tips on how to keep a healthy lifestyle while at school.
Jana Jefferson here with some healthy alternatives and a few tips on how to avoid those few extra pounds notoriously gained at college. For starters, make sure to avoid excessive amounts of carbohydrates, which can result in high triglycerides, which is a high amount of fat formed in the blood. High triglycerides can also result in cardiac problems in the future. To avoid this, make sure to stay away from pizza, pasta, and snacks high in fat served at our favorite dining hall, Daly's. Another thing to stray away from is excessive amounts of beer, not because we want your liver to fail, but because it's riddled with carbs. A better alternative to food and drinks high in carbs are different types of fruits and vegetables, such as apples, celery, and even natural fruit juices. Try your best to stay away from food and drinks high in sugar as well. A popular drink at Cranberries Cafe, which may not be as good for you as you think, is Naked Juice, which claims to be an all-natural way to get fruits and vegetables. However, this drink is high in sugar since it's made from fruit with natural sugars. Alternatives would be water, which is always good for the body, milk, which is good for healthy bones and teeth, and if you have to have a Jack and Coke, make it a diet. Something that many students can't seem to get enough of is sleep. It is recommended to get at least 8 hours of sleep a night, but with so many temptations in and around Ryder's campus, it's really hard to do that sometimes. Some tricks are to turn off all electronics a half an hour before you go to sleep, and to read a book instead. Also, naps are your friend, and it's perfectly fine to take them throughout the day. If you're really having a hard time falling asleep at night, try to exercise a little before bed. This also promotes a healthy lifestyle, so you're killing two birds with one stone. Hopefully these tips and tricks for a better you will benefit you in the future. I'm Janet Jefferson for the Food Buzz. Now back to you at the desk.
With diet, exercise, and making healthy choices at Dailies and Cranberries, you'll be feeling better in no time.
The disappearance of the Malaysian Flight 370 have been baffling minds around the world and seen almost nonstop media coverage since the story first broke. We talked to students about the differences between evidence and speculation and how those involved with the airline might have been able to handle this situation better.
Malaysian authorities say they haven't found a trace of the 11-year-old Boeing 777
out of reach of air traffic controllers on either side of the Atlantic.
We've now learned that the pilots did not make any special requests for more fuel.
The plane has simply vanished.
Malaysian Flight 370 has been the constant focus of the media since its sudden disappearance over the island of Pulau Parka in the Strait of Malacca on March 8th. The coverage of the situation and lack of answers has fostered the development of many theories about what may have taken place on the plane.
I'm asking, please, to not hurt the people on the plane. Let Philip come back to me, please.
The Bronc Buzz News team has reached out to a variety of rider students to understand more about the story and gauge their reactions to the ongoing search.
When I first heard about it, I thought, plane goes down, they can't find it, 7 billion people in the world, not one person can look up in the sky and said, hey, look, there it is.
Honestly, all of the knowledge that the media is given to the public, it's all speculative. No one knows anything concrete, nothing factual.
It's drawn attention a lot so far, both in the domestic community of the United States, but also in the international community. It's really become this modern day mystery, kind of like comparable to the Amelia Earhart. Will we ever find this plane? Will we not find this plane?
And they learn it by text. Rita Cosby just touching down.
On March 24th, 3 weeks after Flight 370's disappearance, the Malaysian government sent out text messages to the families of the plane's 239 passengers, stating that the plane has crashed and there is likely no chance of survivors.
As via text message, I felt that was done in poor taste. It should be done in a more in a more charismatic way.
I don't think that's professional. I believe as though it should have been reached out one-on-one.
I would expect some form of formal notification, like how in the military when somebody dies, they have somebody in military uniform come and present them like a flag or something. And it's very respectable.
I also feel as though at that point, it was about 2 weeks into the investigation, even 3 weeks in, we don't have any information. But it's almost guaranteed that we know that nobody survived, or else we would have heard something by now.
All the family members went insane. I think they were more insane and upset that they were told that everyone that they loved died via text.
Even with the unfortunate lack of evidence and information, the media continues to keep Flight 370's story at the forefront of the news agenda, regardless of the many other ongoing critical situations taking place around the world today.
Or wreckage or garbage that has been spotted in the ocean.
Everyone focused not to say that was important, but they focused majority of their time on the Malaysian flight issue, ignoring other world news problems.
I think it's really more relatable because every one of us travels, every single one of us, almost I should say, has been on an aircraft, and it kind of hits home where it talks about our fears in a sense. People have fear of flying, people have a fear of heights, people have that fear of death naturally, and I think that's what draws us to it because it's such a widely known thing, a thing that is easily relatable.
I believe the media is trying to keep the ratings up. Perhaps people are getting tired of Ukraine and Russia conflict, and they're trying to shift the interest onto another story. I believe because of the lack of information they currently have about the flight, that they should focus on other stories until they retrieve new information.
As we wait for the delivery of concrete evidence, the story of Flight 370 remains unfinished. Hopefully, the Malaysian government will be able to present the world and the families affected by this tragedy with a positive outcome and a sense of closure for their loved ones. This is Ryan Hanratty reporting for the Bronc Buzz.
For more information on the developments with the Malaysian Flight 370, go to bbcnews.com and follow their in-depth factual reports.
That's all for this week. I'm Monica Switlick.
And I'm Nick Weiss. Have a great week, Ryder.